Hello students. So today we will learn about the core banking system in our country. Means not in our country, actually the concept of core banking I'll be clear today. Myself, Utya Basu, assistant professor from Brainwell University. So before starting the core banking system, first we have to learn what is actually mean by the word core banking. So core banking is such a kind of banking service which is provided by a group of banks or maybe a group of network banks where customers may access their bank account and other accounts and everything related to bank, and they can perform obviously the basic transactions from any other member of the branch offices. Now, suppose we can say that suppose I have an account in Axis Bank in suppose in Calcutta, and I wanna now I am present in UP or Bihar or Jharkhand or anywhere in India. Now then I can go to any branch of the Axis Bank and I can access my account or I can perform the basic transactions from that branch. So that is all about core banking. So now we are moving forward. In India, in our country, the first attempt was made in 1981 and it was further extended in the year 1984. The Indian banks began the process at the branch level. At first, they tried these things initially at the different branch levels. This was done with the help of the MS disk operating system, or we can say the MS DOS-based computers. At that point of time, that was the one of the most important operating systems in all the computers. But in 1988, then that was the big change in Indian banking system. And the Deputy Governor of RBI, Dr. C. Rangarajan, implemented the concept of core banking with the help of total branch automation package that ran on a LAN, or that's a Linux Unix operating system. So starting with the MS-DOS in 1988, when it was converted into the LAN or Unix operating system, so it was a more advanced and more fast, and it was more user-friendly for the people. Now, the word core is a short form of CORE, means centralized online real-time exchange. So from the name, we can suggest that it's a centralized banking system or a network created by a bank and its branches. So it allows the customers of the bank to access, manage, and perform basic transactions from any branch of the bank they hold an account in. So which I told in the very first slide. Thus, core banking software allows the banks to create a centralized data center. So obviously, so when I gave the example of the Axis Bank, so it means the bank should maintain a main database where all the data, all the account details, and everything will be stored for every customer they have. So it means, and all those branches or the branches of this bank will operate, means will take the help of that main server, and from that server they can fetch any data and which can be accessible from any branch around the world, and that will help them to run their procedures, to run the transactions. So that is actually the main funder of the core banking. Now, in a nutshell, we can say it's a sum total of all the IT components that enables a bank to manage its core business activities in a centralized model base, and it's a round the clock process. So we can say that a bank can give you any services, any products and information at 24 into 7 into 65 model. So at any point of time now you can, so take an example. If I want to transfer a data, transfer money to one of my friend or one of my relative at 12 in the night or at 6 in the morning or at 2 in the afternoon, so at any point of time I can open my mobile, my Android phone, or I can open my laptop. I can log on into the online mobile online system of banking, and I can transfer the data. Or maybe as an example, you can say there are Google transfers, there are UPI system, there are Paytms. So at from anywhere you can access your accounts, your bank accounts. So that is actually the core banking. So core banking is not actually you don't have to go to the bank. You can do anything from any branch. That's all. That's not at all. Core banking means from any point of time or at any point of time you can access your account from any branches from any device or from any electronic medium. So the core banking is making the bank available to you in your fingertips. Now, there are four basic components of a core banking. First, there should be an application software which will allow not only the data storing in the main server, but also the different nodes or the different all the missions of the branch. Obviously, the hardware components, the one of the most important network infrastructure. Without the proper network, core banking is not possible. And a CDP means a centralized data processing unit. Now, what are the functional areas of a core banking? So at any point of time, you can check the balance, payment, receipts, or withdrawal formally done. There is mobile banking, there is internet banking, there is ATMs, then the recording of transactions. You can update your passbook at any e-corner, like in the SBI, and the interest calculations and everything. So one more example I can give you. Suppose if you install in your mobile the IDBI passbook, so from that software or from that app, you can see anytime what is your passbook balance, what are the last RTGS and equity transactions you made, and even you can make the RTGS and equity transactions through e-banking. So all these are the application areas of a core banking system. Now, these are some technical terms which are actually the main portion of the core banking. They are working in the background, starting with the data center, which you should have. Without the data center, the data mining or data storing is not possible. Then the disaster recovery system, or the DRS, it's an alternative data center which will act as a backup resource and ensure business continuity in case of any DC failure, means data center failure. Then there will be data metering, which means the storage device settles to the server located in the DC, and DRS are updated on a real-time basis so that data integrity as well as availability are ensured even in case of a hardware failure. So a bank's real data time is stored in multiple devices and locations. So because if one devices or one location is get hampered, so you can take the backup from some another location or device. Then obviously there should be a good backup process, some lease lines for the CBS networking. Then you need the ISDN lines, means these are the secondary data links put to use in case of a leased line failure. So if your first option is not available, then you can take the backup from the ISDN lines. Then if you're using the internet, obviously you're using the internet in the core banking, you should have the modem, then the switch and the router. So all these are the technical portion behind the core banking system. And then the last one is the RCC, means the regional cluster center. So it is termed as also the regional because some banks also house the regional data service in the RCC, so that in case of a total network failure between RCC and DC branches in that region can continue to operate and also provide any branch banking facilities within the cluster. So it means so if a bank put their all data on a main server, so in the server get failure, or the connection between the server and the other branches get hampered, so automatically all the branches will get hampered. So what they do, they put there are some local servers concept. So they will put the data in those local servers, and from that local server they will put them all the data in in the main server. So if the main server is getting hampered, or the net is very slow, or there is a problem between the fiber optical problem, or there is ISDN problem between those main servers and those local servers, so they can also fetch the data from those local servers, and they can continue the daily activities. But we have to remember, they cannot take backup all the data in the local servers, because those hard disks and those memories are not so much high level in nature, or they don't have such space, so they're actually maintained to run actually the daily activities of any branch. Now, what are the need of the CBS to meet the intense competition and changing market scenario? It's a very important thing to meet the regulations and compliance requirements, and to meet the demands of the customers who are better informed, more demanding, and less loyal than they were. Obviously, not all the customers are same as everyone, and to enhance the efficiency and the effectiveness of the banking system. It will also increase the customer satisfaction. They don't have to put a big line, the big queue in the bank. It's not. They don't have to go every time to update their passbook. They don't have to go to every time in the bank to withdraw some very few amount of money. At any point of time, they can go to the ATM or some local branches. Then simplifying the process of the employees, enhancing banks' competitiveness in the market. Obviously, it's a pure competitive market because there are so much of nationalized banks and private banks and foreign banks out there. And improved process sufficiency, shrinking margins. Now, so those points are always the point of view of the customers. Now, what are the benefits of the banks? So obviously, it replaces the old technology. It replaces multiple disparate and older generation systems with a single integrated multi-product processing application across various countries. So previously, it will take it was taking 5 or 6 minutes to do any kind of withdrawal or any kind of activities in the bank. But now, within a fraction of a second, those transactions are get recorded in the bank. Previously we don't have any main data mining system in the bank, so if those manual records and the papers are get destroyed, so it is very difficult for the bank to get those backup from data, or they can fetch the data from somewhere else. But now within a fraction of a second, or within just pressing of a switch, you can get the whole data of a single customer or for a business body in your screen. It creates a virtual banking operating system from ground up and offer a host banking products. And obviously there is internet banking, ATM, mobile banking, telebanking, and everything, the point of sale terminals. So it also allows the bank to reach out to new customer and the segments. So means the area of banking gets more wide. So the bank can easily reach to reach to you at any point of time around the clock. So it will also handle much higher volumes with a proportionate increase in the resource of infrastructure cost. So obviously the infrastructure cost has been increased, but that means you can reach to the more customers in the more areas of the country. So starting with the pure rural areas to the pure urban areas, you can reach any party at any point of time. But there are some negative points because not all the villages in India have the internet facility. So that core banking is not always possible, and not every person is mobile literate. So not everybody is installing your apps. Not everybody knows what is e-banking or the i-banking or the mobile wallet is. So there's sometimes those are the hindrances which actually faced by the CBS system. Then obviously it can reduce cost, the improved bottom line, and the stakeholder rewards. The quick and easy introduction of new products and services is also available for the CBS system. Now, these are the very common customer benefits: the ATMs, the point of sale terminals, the mobile phones and the kiosks, the quick realization of instructions lost for the collection, and then all the online factors. So everything is getting online here. You don't have to go to the bank. So unless so even you can open any account, savings account or fixed deposit or anything, current account, just by clicking on an app or by clicking on a cursor on go to Google. You can open any website of any bank, and you can give the data to the bank, and just you give your mail ID, your phone number. They will contact you. They will come to your home to collect those KYC documents. So you can do anything and everything related to a bank without going to the bank. So that is actually the core banking. Like I'm giving example in this quarantine process, in this coronavirus time. If you want to pay the electricity bill, the gas bill, the electricity premiums, all the banks are getting closed. There are limited times. There are limited people out there to run the system. So you don't have to go to the bank. You can do it from just right from your laptop or desktop, or by clicking on your phone. So hope we have understood something about the core banking system. So if you like this video, you can subscribe my channel. So from now, bye bye, Ritevas.